Hello, I'm Mirella.
Hello, I'm Zoe. Welcome to the Critical Obsession podcast.
We're going to talk about things that we love and that get us obsessed, like series, movies, books, maybe cats. Our latest obsession has been a TBL called Dangerous Romance. The episodes are free to watch on YouTube. There will be spoilers, so you should definitely go and watch the series before listening to us fangirl about it.
A little disclaimer, the idea for this podcast was born on a normal day when she was drunk and I was hysterical, hence the name. This will contain our personal opinions, random thoughts and theories. There will be cursing, and also be aware that topics may be adult in nature, and alcohol also may be involved.
All I think will be painful to listen to, but bear with us. We already watched the first 4 episodes of Dangerous Romance and we want to talk about it.
We plan on doing a podcast reaction after each new episode that comes out. However, for today, we're going to talk about episode 3 and 4. If you're still with us after all this, join us on our downward spiral into our obsessions.
So now we're going to talk about episode 3. I have a lot to say about this episode. I made a lot of notes. I even made a bit analytical on the intro music. I don't know if you noticed, but before the episode starts, we have this little melody from Chimon's song, and it's a harp playing. And it's very beautiful and tender. And the harp as an instrument is a symbol of heaven and hope. And I feel like we're told through music what this connection will mean to them. It's a very peaceful and healing sound. Have you noticed?
I actually never even noticed that. I'll have to go back and watch it now. Again,
Yeah, it's
like,
lovely.
such a hardship.
You don't want to do that. No.
No,
What
don't
again?
make me.
The tone in this episode shifts so much, and I feel like this is the moment when the title hurts the series the most, because you expect this conflict to last longer, but it pretty much gets resolved in episode 3. I remember it gave me whiplash because it takes a bit of time and knowing the title to understand where they are going with it. Like if you go past episode 3, you kind of see why they did it like they did. But at this moment, when I started episode 3, I was quite confused.
Yeah, I remember talking to you after watching episode 3, and you were like, "I don't know, I think it was too quick." And I didn't disagree. It makes sense for them not to draw that conflict out any longer, because if they had drawn it out, it was only going to get worse. Let's be honest. The more time they spent
Yeah.
on like torturing each other, it was going to get worse, kind of thing. And I still think we're going to get some of that later on, not in the sort of not in the same context, of course, but you know, we like to torture the people that we love and who love us. Most of
Yep.
the time. Most of the time, not on purpose, but it happens.
They see our worst parts, right? The people
Yeah,
who are closest to us.
yeah.
They see the
Or
worst in us.
we try to stop them from seeing the worst of us, which ends up actually hurting them, which is what I think is probably going to happen in this instance. But yeah, so I mean, I think they had to end that where they did, but then the getting over it was very quick, and it was I saw, and I'm going to kick myself because I really meant to look this up, but I was watching a reactor on YouTube, and when we go for our break, I'll grab the name and then I'll mention it at the start of the talk for episode 4. But I watched a YouTube reactor who makes good videos, and he basically said something, and I'm not sure if I can't remember if it was his thought or if he had read something on Twitter or something. Let's face it, we liked it. We all garner information from everybody else. I mean, that's what I'm doing here. But he basically pointed out the fact that they are teenage boys. And teenage boys, not to generalize, but they tend not to hold on to things as much as perhaps like you and I might. Like, I let things go more these days because I'm just tired and I can't be bothered. But as a teenage girl, I was all about the grudges. Although not all the time, but yeah, if it was important enough. But yeah, he pointed out the fact that they were guys and that they're teenagers, and that maybe, they wouldn't hold on to it the same way that, you would as an adult or something. So yeah, so I thought that was an interesting take.
I appreciate how Kang decided to be upfront and honest with Salem when he is asked about the gun. And I feel like besides the fact that they're teenage boy, this incident got them closer, and it's like there's no sense in pretending and putting up a front. They know deep truths about each other, and it shows in the way they communicate right away.
Yeah. I mean, they just went through a really quite a traumatic experience together, and it bonds them instantly. And you see how comfortable they become with each other later on. But and this is one of the things that actually occurred to me. And this did occur to me like after I finished watching the episode, and when you were saying to me you weren't sure, like you said, I think you said to me something like you really enjoyed the episode, but you're not really sure, like was it too quick or something like that.
Yeah,
And
it gave me whiplash. I said whiplash a lot of times that
whiplash.
day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I actually think I do remember the word whiplash being used multiple times. I had a thought in my head, but I couldn't quite come to terms with it and like verbalize it at the time. I had to do that thing, where you wait and you think about it for a bit. But basically, what it was, and I think this was why I was kind of okay with it. I mean, as I said, I did think it was a bit fast, but I was pretty much okay with it, even before the suggestion of, being teenage guys or whatever, was that as fucked up as it is that Kang took the gun there to do whatever he was going to do, like try and scare him or whatever. If he had not gone there and taken that gang, what would have happened to Salom? And that's probably a thought that Salom had because he's a pretty smart guy. Kang and his gun being there helped him.
Kang staying there and taking care of him and making sure that he is fine, giving him comfort. Yeah, and
Mm.
he looked differently in Salom's eyes after this incident.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, it's so funny too because I think the other thing is as you said, like saying he looks different to him. I think he sees beneath the charisma and the bravado because Kang sort of says to him like that he had no choice, like, oh, what else was I going to do, or something like that. I mean, that's not what he says, but it's along the lines of that. And like he basically says to Salome, what else did he have? What choice did he have but to play along with the situation, sort of thing? When in actual fact, he could have turned around and just like run off, like as soon as he saw what was going on. So he definitely had a choice, but he chose to do the right thing.
So they settle on being even. And as I said, it wasn't entirely satisfying to me in the beginning because I felt like more needs to be done by Kang. Me as the viewer, I still feel like he needs to do more. The whole situation makes even more sense while when time passes and you see them interact and you see this wind and windmill thing being explained and brought up again and again and again. And it's about them being kind of perfect for each other and natural with each other and it's easy for them to be with each other and they fit and they're meant for each other and to complete each other as well, right?
Well, it's funny that you put it like that because while you're talking, I'm thinking about the whole idea of a wind and windmill. And obviously, this comes into play later on. We have the whole comment about that, which we'll get to afterwards. But I was just thinking about it because, yeah, like what is a windmill without wind? I mean, it's a useless piece of junk, essentially. It does nothing, it has no function without the wind. It needs the wind to have purpose.
Yeah,
And
but the wind doesn't need the windmill, right?
no, but the wind.
Not really.
No, I think the wind does because without the windmill, what purpose does the wind have? It's just blowing. It's just existing. It's not serving any purpose. It's just there, which is very
Well,
much
okay,
like
the wind can have other purposes then.
oh no, but I'm like okay, like look, like
But I
okay,
feel like in this situation, Kang, if you look into this metaphor more, like the windmill needs the wind even more. And it's funny because Kang is the one who keeps bringing up this metaphor. It's like, I need you, I need you, I need you, you know?
oh yeah, I think then that will be something that we definitely see in the future. We'll definitely see it more from Kang, I think, than from Salon. But I mean, without getting into the broad reasons and function of weather patterns and whatever else, like
I mean, we could go
I'm
into
not
it.
I'm not a meteorologist, but I'm just saying, just in general, as a metaphor, for Salom's life, he's just existing. He's just surviving. His relationship
Yeah.
with Kang is giving him purpose, is giving him like a sense of, being, I guess, of actually being in the moment and not just existing.
Yes. And then they talk, and the tutor student dynamic actually starts, and they actually accept these roles.
Well, it's
And the
funny
transactional relationship, as you call it,
begins.
starts between them. Yeah. And Salem is the one who sets it up.
He does. Because Kang actually asks him, well, not asks him, he tries to give him the money as compensation, which, like if you look at the damage that he's done to Salom in terms of like, emotional, financial, like whatever, like a monetary offer of compensation is not out of line. But of course, he rejects it in favor of tutoring Kang. So it's like, why does he set up that transaction?
What I think is interesting is that he could have just said no to the money and started being friends with him. But it's like he needs this to be a transaction. He needs this like a contract because otherwise it would not make sense to him.
Yeah, it's because his life is that's what his life is like. It's so transactional. And I guess because they're at this point in time in his mind, they're so uneven. As you said, why would they spend time together? They're not friends. For them to become friends as well would have been more of a stretch. From like bully to friend to bully to tutor is less of a jump. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though it's we all know it's way more significant in this moment what's happening with them. But the transition for them to suddenly be friends would just be like, now that would be like a major league whiplash, because no one would understand it, like they're friends, like no one would understand it. And it probably would have been a little bit weird maybe as well, like I don't know, it's hard to know. But instead what we get is Salome suddenly starts to expect things from Kang, which is interesting
Yeah.
because he starts sort of like thinking about him more. And so as he teaches him and sort of, I guess, encourages him and all that, he expects him to stick to, his word and that, because he's seen like this, I guess, responsibility in him in this sort of like savior role. He knows that he's not just like a flake, and that it's there. And
Yeah,
he
maybe that's why when we had the scene of Salam waiting for Kang and Kang is playing with his friends and then he looks at the time and he sees that he's already late. He was not intending to go there to study with Salam, but he thinks about what happened. We have these flashbacks and it's this responsibility. He feels responsible in this moment, I think, and
yeah,
that's why he comes over and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm late. Like,
I
it's
love
so
that.
different from the way he was before.
I know, but I love that bit too, because like it's so kind of like funny to me and interesting, because as you said, he goes there like he knows, because he knows what Salom is like. Like he knows that he's going to be in the library waiting for him, like without a doubt, sort of thing. But then when he shows up there and he's actually there, he looks surprised to find him there. It's like, dude, you went there, like you knew he was going to be there waiting for you. Like, why are you surprised? And it's so funny because he just knows he was determined enough to stay, When he says about, like, when you said how, like, he apologizes for being late and everything, and Salom's like, I wasn't waiting, when he clearly was. I mean, come on. He's sitting there and he kept looking at the clock and stuff.
And now Kang wants approval from Salom, and that's also, I think, what influences his behavior and him asking for forgiveness for being late.
Yeah, it's like because he feels that expectation from Salom. And oh my God, the test, that poor baby, that poor baby. He was so excited when he thought he did well on the test.
Yes, also approval. And Salom is so confused as to why Kang even came, and I'm like, he came to save you. He's here to save you.
He's like, he came. Yeah, well, in actual fact, you're not actually wrong, because, like, how long would have Salam sat there waiting if he hadn't come when he did? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he would have sat there for a few hours.
Well, he
So,
did.
no, but like even more, like people were leaving the school, it's getting dark, he's still sitting there waiting, like on the off chance he might show up. Even though
Probably.
he's like smart, even though like he's smarter than that. So I mean, in a sense, Kang did kind of save him again by like turning up when he actually did.
And then we see the scene where his father is presented for the first time. And he comes home unexpectedly and catches Kang playing video games. And the music that they put in the background made me quite nervous. It was like something that you'd use in a scene where the character is afraid, where is afraid or is expecting to be hit or something like this. And then his father smiles at Kang, looking so tense and guilty, because even though there are no expectations, he obviously feels like a disappointment. And then the music stops, and the father's like, "Come on, it's fine." And his father kind of looked uncomfortable. Like, he looked uncomfortable with the idea of putting any pressure on Kang. And he started reassuring that he doesn't expect much of him, which actually made Kang feel worse. And
Yeah,
it's like he didn't understand Kang at all and his needs, and he just,
no,
there's
yeah,
no communication between them.
that's right. He has this really complicated relationship. I must admit I didn't notice the music when I was watching it, but I did get this like really uncomfortable vibe. Like I really didn't know what we were going to get from the father, because I also got the creepy like violent father vibe from him. And most of that came from the way Kang reacts to him, like to him being in his space, and it's so unusual because like his father is like the opposite of that. But then I suppose like it's kind of like, he has no expectations for his son whatsoever, which of course has now lent him to want to prove himself and everything. Like he's dying to have for someone to have expectations of him, and then like here comes along Salom. But he it's almost like the way he reacts to his father is not like he's afraid. It's not like he's afraid of him, but he kind of doesn't know like what to expect from him, even though he knows. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm explaining this really bad, but it's like he doesn't act like he should. Like the father doesn't act like he should. So like most fathers, when their sons were like slacking off or something, they would get angry, or they would, So he reacts. It's like Kang reacts to the way he thinks his father should act, like the roles he thinks they should be playing, even though his father is not participating in that relationship, if that makes any sense.
And the father knows about the torturing, and he asks if he should speak to grandma about it and get Kang
Yeah.
on the hook.
Yeah, he's basically like, you don't need to be smart. Just graduate. As long as you graduate, it's all good. It's like, well, because if we think about other Thai shows we've seen and we look at privileged people, he doesn't need to do well, does he? Because his father can just pay for him to get a place in university. Like that's what we've been shown. Whether or not that's actually true of Thai society, I don't know, but that is what we've seen in other dramas where like privilege, they can. It's all about who you know and how much money you've got, and that's a lot of the way in a lot of places in the world. Money talks, right? So his father's like, as long as you don't fail, I can probably like, we can make it work. He's
Mhm.
like, just have fun, like, and so Kang makes a bargain with his father because he wants him to have expectations and he wants to meet them. So he makes this bargain to get the bike, the motorcycle. Um, if I pass all my exams, buy me a motorcycle.
I think it's interesting how it happens, because the thing that he does with his father here, regarding the bike, is basically the same thing that Salam does to him. It's a deal. It's a transactional agreement of sorts.
Yeah,
Like, I know you want to give me this, but I need a contract, and I want you to need something from me as well.
yeah.
And it's just exactly what Salam did to him. And I think it's not something that he has tried doing with his father before. Maybe this was inspired by Salam's actions.
Yeah, he's already been tutored.
Exactly.
He's already learning things.
Yeah, then Salam with his friends find
Oh my
Kang
god.
studying and waiting for his tutor.
Yeah, and
And
like his friends teasing the fuck out of the fact that about Kang and the kiss and everything. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. I once again have to mention, I think Otto is like at the shipping stage right now because he's just like, if he gets out of line, just give him another kiss. It's like, really? Really?
yeah, and it's
Like,
weird because he suffered so much because of it, and now
I
this
know
is how
he's
he
just so
reacts.
like
This is
he's
just
so like
teasing.
giddy about it. Yeah, it's funny, like when people find out later on when they start dating, when their friends find out, it'll be interesting to see the reactions. You can kind of see that Guy and Kang's friend that is going to be in the second couple. We think, they're either going to react one or the other way. They're either going to be like, oh, it's not a big deal or something because they've got their own shit that they're hiding, or they're gonna like act crazily out over the top, like in outrage because they've got something they're hiding. But I feel like Auto's just gonna be like, so do you kiss a lot?
Yeesh. And
Like I feel
now,
like out of all of the friends, he'll be the least like one would have a problem with it. And he should really honestly be the one who has the most problem with it. But I mean, I could be wrong. He might be absolutely like outraged, but I don't know. I feel like this boy's fangirling.
and then we get the tutoring. It starts, and the long stairs start, and
Oh
the
god.
subtle flirting on Kang's part with the "I used to dislike it, but now I'm starting to like it." And I'm like,
Yeah, the metaphor about the subject. That's right. Yeah. I
just
used to not like it, but now I'm starting to like it. It's like, okay,
yeah.
about you guys. It's
And
totally about them.
Salam just deflects, but the look he gives him is like, what does he mean? Like he sees a lot in those words, and he's wondering, and he's confused, and he's like, you know.
Well, I
And
mean, it's like it's so obvious that he's talking about them. Like, I used to not like this thing, but now I like really like it. It's kind of like really bad flirting, but they managed not to make it at all cringe. And then we get the I think it's the is this the
is it
first
bad?
of
Is it bad flirting? I thought that was actually really nice when you're with the character, because she shifted that fast. It maybe it was a bit weird and new, but is it bad flirting though?
oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm just like maybe I'm too cynical. But it's like I just like the longing look. Like, is this the first of the longing stares that we get? I think
Yes,
it is.
it is. It is
And
the first one.
it's like this long meaningful stare, and I swear it's for like I feel like we should go back and time it because it seems like it goes for fucking forever, and it also seems like it should be the most awkward thing ever, and it's not because they're not uncomfortable. Like, they are completely totally fine with just sitting there staring at each other in that
Yeah,
way
I want
without
to talk about
speaking.
this. I want to talk about this a bit later, about the fact
Mm,
how these things, these long stairs, incorporated very well into the story.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just I think it's I mean, at this point in time, it's a good indication already about like how close they are.
Yeah,
Um,
and now Salam teases Kang, and he just accepts it. And
yeah,
then they study until late, and time flies for them when they're together, which means that they're really comfortable with each other. That thing was there for a reason. Like, it was, besides the fact that it was an opportunity for Kang to drive Salam home. It's there because they feel so well with each other, so easy. It's like they've known each other for years,
yeah.
and just time
They,
flies.
that's right, and they're really like they have this. We see, and we're starting to see more and more as the episodes go along. But since the incident at the end of episode 2, they have this like really easy physical dynamic as well. Like, there's no weirdness about them being like touching one another or
Okay, you're saying this, and my next note is like the moment on the bike when Salam hesitates to hold on to Kang and holds onto his bag. There is
yeah.
some. There is
Oh, there
some.
is. Okay, I've jumped the gun a little bit, but after that moment, okay, let's talk about that moment first because that moment does come first. He does and this is what I was talking about. I think early in the earlier episodes I mentioned, like in the last episode, in the last podcast rather, I mentioned about how as we go along we're seeing these moments with Salon where he's like kind of like has the butterfly crush sort of
Oh
like
yeah,
moments. Whereas like with Kang, like we don't really get those. We do have one of them in episode 4, like towards the end of episode 4, but generally his moments are just like he's like he's
He's
completely
falling.
gone, and he has no idea. It's like, Kang, get up. He's fallen and he needs assistance.
He's falling really hard. Like,
Yeah, like
it's sudden and it's
yeah.
a lot. For Salam, it's more
To me, it's like Kang's okay. This is how I'm in my mind. It's working with them. So from Kang's point of view, or Kang's like feelings, seem to be more based in emotion and like,
attraction.
well, yeah, no, but not like necessarily like maybe physical attraction. I'm not saying that he doesn't think he's attractive or he doesn't think he's cute or anything like that. But we really haven't seen like a moment where he's looked at Salom and been like, like you'd be like, yeah, he was totally checking him out. Like, we haven't had anything like that. It's more intellectual. It's like he's fascinated by Salom, and Salom has
Yeah,
these things, these qualities that he is so attracted to. Like, he
exactly.
wants yeah, he wants like um to be with him and to like this togetherness, but it's like really kind of, at this point in time, it's like really like actually quite deep, which is why he's falling so hard, I think. Whereas with Salom, to me, it seems more like hesitant, like puppy, playful, like physically attracted, like crush type stuff, where
Gratitude
he's like
now.
he's very aware of like Kang as a physical entity, whereas Kang doesn't seem to be that aware of Salom in the same way. Like, we get little hints of it, but not really until sort of like specific things, like at the end of episode 4, and that, which we'll get to when we talk about episode 4. But um, it seems more intellectual and more like emotional driven than, whereas and so we see that bit on the bike where basically, I mean, I love the bit with the bike. Like, he basically kind of in a sort of a way, um Kang is really pushy about giving him a ride home. He's got that savior thing happening, but it's like, I mean, he doesn't bully him into it, but I feel like he's he's very like, no, I should take you home. It's late,
He's persistent, yeah. And
yeah,
Salam does have that flashback moment when
yeah. He's
he
like, should he
think,
trust him? Like, before he
yeah,
gets on the bike, he's like, and this is the thing, like, they've just spent all this time together. They've been through all this stuff, and he still has that moment of hesitation where he's like, should I trust him or not? Like, it's like he has like a yes or no moment, and he decides yes. And it's interesting because I feel like him deciding yes in that moment is like yes from now on, because there's a scene which we'll talk about in a little bit that I completely, when I was watching it, had a moment about, and I was really shocked when he didn't like echo that moment and that sentiment, because I was like, why are you not feeling like me? Um, forgetting that I'm not the characters. And I feel like it's because of, in this moment here, he's decided to trust Kang.
Shimon's song plays in the background, and we see him enjoying this moment, and it feels like he revels in it. And it's a thing that he's not going to explore or share with anyone. It's
Yeah,
there only for him.
yeah. And it's like, there's that moment where, like, um as you're saying, like, he gets on the bike, he said yes, in his mind he's agreed to the transaction of ride home,
Yep.
and of trusting him. And but he's like, how do I in this situation, because they've not really he hasn't really physically interacted with Kang at all, except for their first kiss, which was like, not really, doesn't really count. The time he hit him, and then when Kang like comforted him after his traumatic experience. And I don't know how much of that he's actually retained anyway. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's stuff that he must pull that out when he's in bed at night, and like think about it and giggle like a 14-year-old girl. Uh, because I know I would. I'd be like, he's
I
so
want to see that.
strong
They
and
should film that.
manly. Sorry.
They should film that. I want to see that if he
He's
does.
like, he was so strong and manly. No. Yeah. But he's just like, he's awkward because I feel like he is so aware of Kang, like, physically.
Yeah,
And whereas like Kang is just like, you're an idiot,
clueless.
like, hold on to me, sort of thing. and makes him hold on and everything. And yeah, as I said, then I was gonna say the actor's name instead of the character's name, and then Salome is just like, and they just said enjoying it, loving life, living life. And we do sort of get a little bit of a like kind of happy smile from Kang too. It's like he's not like overly experiencing it the same way, I don't think, but he's definitely acknowledging that he's not enjoying it.
Maybe it's a thing that he feels that Salam accepted him and I guess, decided to trust him, and he
Well,
basically feels
he's
redeemed a little
yeah, and
bit.
I think it also like ties into that whole idea of like savior, you know,
Yeah.
thing too, because like he's accepted his like keep way of keeping him safe, sort of thing, I guess. Is another way to look at that too.
Yeah. And then Kang brings him to the restaurant to eat steak and to share the thing he loves. And he looks so smug and pleased with himself to do that for Salam, because it's his first time trying the steak, and it obviously is not a place where he could go and just eat, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny that you brought that up next because I've literally got like he wants to like he's seen the way he lives and he wants to provide for him, and he might not realize that that's what he's doing. Like, because money isn't anything to him, like it's nothing to him, but the gesture itself is really sweet, especially because, as you said, he chooses to share something with him that's like his favorite. So, but yeah, the moment I was talking about earlier, where it was like the bit where I felt like Salom should have had his questioning, do I trust him or not moment, was when Kang ordered the extra steak and then got up and went to the toilet. My
Oh
immediate
yeah, I
thought was
remember.
my
You
my
were like, I thought
immediate
he'd leave him alone.
yeah, my immediate thought was you better not abandon him, you bastard. I can't
But
remember. Did I leave you voice messages or
yeah,
not? Oh, that's right. I
yes.
recorded them, didn't I? And then I sent them to you after you'd watched it. Yeah, because my I think my internal commentary was, "You bastard, you better not leave him there," or something like that. Because
You
that's
trust
what.
him
Yeah,
less than Salam at that moment.
yeah, and but Salom didn't even like blink. He just like kept, cutting his steak and eating it, and he was like
Well,
not at
you
all
see,
concerned. So that's what I meant by, I think like when he had that moment of like indecision and decided to go with yes, he was like yes from now on for sure. Like
that's why it's whiplash, because we're not there yet. Maybe Salam is, but we as viewers, we're not there yet. We see him and we're suspicious, and we expect him to do something stupid.
yeah,
But it's
and I
okay.
mean
He, like, by the end of the episode, I was there as well.
yeah, I mean I think the other thing that I really really like this whole bit with the restaurant and that I really really liked. So I loved how he ordered extra food so Salom could not only enjoy it and be able to eat more of it, but also to share it with his brother. Like
Very
it's such
thoughtful of him, yeah.
yeah, it's such an easy thing to do. I mean, he can afford it, but it shows that he already cares. And
He cut the meat for
yeah,
him.
cutting the meat. But do you know what I loved besides the cutting the meat is how he taught Salom how to do it himself. Like he says
Yeah,
to him,
neck
like
for next time.
yeah, like he says to him, like not that he would never not cut it for him if Salom wanted him to, because I feel like that's totally up his alley. Like he would be right on that. But he's intelligent enough to know that Salom would want to be able to do it for himself, and also it's like he's an intelligent learning sort of person. And so he takes the time to actually show him how to cut it himself, and I loved that. I thought that was such a little tiny scene that we like they didn't actually need to put in there, but it shows once again so much care already in there and so much understanding of who Salom is as a person. But yeah, and he just watching him like eat the food and like watching someone enjoy he's enjoying so much, like sharing new things with him, providing for him. The way he says like it's his favorite meal that he's chosen to, share it and
Sure.
everything. Yeah. I want to sort of talk a little bit about like I feel like Kang is he at this point it's pretty clear that he wants someone to expect things from him. Like we can see that, that he wants someone to count on him. He wants it to be his dad at first, but of course he he wants someone to believe in him. And Salom is like like probably the first person besides his grandmother and the girl maybe the girlfriend, who really see him and that, but it's like it's different, you know what I mean? It's not on the same level. He's the Salom is the adult. It's like he almost needs someone to care and look after him, but like it sounds strange because he's so independent and everything, and he's really honestly looks to be like he's the one taking care of his brother. And I feel like that's why he needs someone. Like he's so the adult in that household, but I feel like he needs someone else who can take over and like just like keep him safe, someone he can trust, you know?
Maybe
Um
someone who can let him be a teenager, because
yeah,
he's an adult and it feels like he doesn't have time to enjoy life,
well that's right. And like by I
to
mean
time for himself. Yeah,
that's
for
right.
himself.
And Kang, with his ease of money and all the rest of it, and being, supportive and there to step in when things are, bad or dangerous or whatever, um, gives him that, affords him that, role of normal teenage boy.
Then we see Kang bringing Salam home.
Oh yes, this
And we
scene.
had that moment when he's like, Salam asks him why. He's
Yeah.
curious to know why he is changing, why he's trying, why he's studying, what happened. Because there's a difference between his attitude during their first lesson and the attitude from the day that they are in. And so Salam says it's for his grandma. He's not ready to open up. He says it's for his grandma. It's the easy explanation because Salam already saw the grandma, saw their relationship and everything.
Mm.
And then he looks at Salam, is like, "Do you want me to say I wanted you to be proud of me?" And I was like, "Do you want him to want you to say that?" Like, he always has this thing like of asking questions that actually reveal things, that actually are declarations and not really questions. And I find that really cute and charming and interesting.
Yeah, he's totally exposing himself every time he does it. It's hilarious. I mean,
Exactly.
and the really funny thing is I don't think he actually realizes what he's doing. Like, I mean, I could be wrong because like every now and then he sort of seems like it looks like he knows what he's doing, but I kind of feel like he doesn't really know what he's doing. Like I feel like this is his first rodeo in terms of romance, and so he's not like 100% sure what he's doing. He's stumbling around in the
Uh-huh.
dark, and he's just seeing what happens. But yeah, I mean, when he asks that, I mean, Slum is a little bit flustered by it, which is kind of cute. Because it definitely at that point it does definitely kind of feel a bit like a flirt. Like it's so out of left field. Like why would you say that? Like it's just like
Exactly.
where did that
It
come
has to be a
from?
flirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's so shocked by the extra gesture of like food as well. Um and
He's
it's just
smitten.
yeah, and he's so shocked by it that he doesn't even argue. He just takes it, you know what I mean, with like a little smile. Okay, so yeah, so the second day, and it's a scene with Kang and his friends, and he basically has forgotten that it's his birthday, like the next day or something, which is so freaking sad to me. Like, I mean, I don't know, I'm an adult, but I still get excited about my birthday, and I think it's really, really sad that he could, forget about his birthday. But yeah, and then so then they're teasing him because he's like, I might have to be tutored or whatever. And his friends are like, is he your tutor or your lover? And I'm like, why are the friends like doing this?
And
Um,
thinking regarding the birthday and the fact that he plans on spending it with Salam, maybe it's never an event that is actually celebrated. It never feels like it's a celebration. It's just another day when he kind of
yeah,
gets disappointed. But with Salam, it doesn't feel like his time is being wasted.
yeah, yeah. I think that, I mean, because clearly he could have made an excuse and changed days or whatever. And I mean, if he had said to Salom, oh, it's my birthday, he would have been like, oh, okay, well, I'll catch you tomorrow. Like he's not going to make a big issue out of it or anything. But yeah, when his friends were like teasing and that, and they're like about, oh, is he your tutor, is he your lover, and all that. I'm just like, well, let's get back to you on that one. but like, yeah, I mean, it's just it's so funny because then of course we go on, and he's been studying and he's doing the tests and stuff like that, and he's doing really well, and him being so excited about doing well is like super cute because he really, really just likes it when Salom like praises him. Like he loves it.
And then we had the English learning adventure, practicing English. They
Oh
go,
god.
basically, it's like they're going on a date together.
Yeah.
And the scene when they're trying to get into the club, it's hilarious. I can hardly watch it because it's just so funny. It's hard to
It's
watch.
yeah,
Everyone just
I kind of yeah, I found it was like their acting, like it's so funny to me because they're such good acting, but their bad acting in that was so fucking bad. It was like cringeworthy, and I'm getting I get secondhand embarrassment like watching it. I'm like, I know
exactly.
you're a good actor, stop it.
Yeah, and also we see a lot of Salam teasing Kang
We do. He
in
really
this
enjoys it
episode.
because he works out that like he can get a reaction out of him. Like
Yeah.
it seems funny to me that he's only just realized that, but it's like, dude, this is the whole reason he was bullying you because like you get a reaction out of him so easy. You literally just have to like exist, and he's like bothered by it. Except now he's bothered in a whole other way.
Yes, and then we see Kang trying to speak with foreigners, and then they both find a group of foreigners and they speak to them. And the debt collector guy sees them, notices them, and this will
Mm,
come up later.
yeah.
So, and then there's the food moment and the teasing with the food. Like, they try something new, and
Were
Salam
they
gets him Kang to
grasshoppers?
try.
I feel like they were eating grasshoppers or something because they eat like they
I have
eat
no idea.
insects. They eat insects over there. Like not everybody, but like in the street markets and that. I saw it on an episode of like The Amazing Race or something. Where they like eat like grasshoppers and stuff. And that's what it looked like. I mean, I could be wrong. I would love to know.
Maybe.
That or like little dehydrated fish or something. I don't know. I it would be really cool if someone knew what it was that they were eating.
I thought maybe that was dehydrated fish, but who
Yeah,
knows?
like little
And
tiny
so
fish maybe.
yeah, and they already so comfortable with it with each other. I mean, Kang feeds him from his hand, like he gives him that fish or bug or
Yeah,
whatever that is.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like this is like where that comment I made about like there's no they are so comfortable with each other physically. There's no, it's almost like when it's the two of them, there's no like this is my personal space bubble. Like you know like how normally. I mean I know I do, and I'm probably sure you do too. Like we have this invisible bubble around ourselves, which is like this is my no go zone basically. If you step closer than I like you to, I will usually step back or I will move away or like whatever. And that's what we're like with most people, except usually like people that are our loved ones or whatever. And even with them, sometimes we step back because we're like, no, no, no. But it's like they have no personal space bubble when it's the two of them. And it's really interesting because I've only ever seen that like a couple of times in real life where, um, like I've had, friends who are couples and stuff who are like that like 100% of the time. Like because as I said, most people, it'll be hot or something, and you're like, you don't want your partner to touch it because it's too fucking hot. It's like no, just don't, or like whatever, or you're mad, or like whatever. But like these couple, like even when they're mad, they're in each other's space, and like they're no one's backing away. Like they're just even when they're angry, they're most comfortable when they're within touching distance of one another, and it's really. I feel like they have this like weird um Salom and Kang seem to have this sort of weird connection as well, where there's like they're you know just so comfortable physically with each other, and it makes like zero sense. I mean, yeah, they got kind of intimate after the traumatic end of episode 2, but even that doesn't really warrant this like easy natural kind of physicality that they have with each other. It's like they're
Yeah,
so in sync.
the story tells us that they're special. That their connection is special. It's this.
Mm,
This is what the story is about. How they are so. Um, it's a love story about two people who were made for each other, and that's why everything works like this
mm, mm.
with them.
It's so funny because I think later on I have like a whole discussion about that.
Yes, me too.
About like how they're different. But yeah, so also noticed I'm pretty sure as well that this is the first time that Perth's song is played. Like it's played when they're at the bar.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I thought it was the first time it was during episode 4.
I literally have here
during the
first time Perth song is at the bar. So I don't know. And I put a question
interesting.
mark. So it was definitely the song, but I wasn't sure if it was the first time.
So then there we had the moment where Kang shares about his father
Mm,
for the first time.
yeah,
He
and
tells
it's like
him about the expectations.
that's right. He lowers his shield with him, and I feel like he can do that because, like, Salom lowered his shield, back in episode 2. But oh my god, he broke my heart when he was like, "I'm good for nothing," and I'm just like, I had
That's
all of these thoughts, like
that's
when,
probably, yeah, what happens when no one expects anything from you.
oh, of course,
You
and
think they don't expect, they don't need me, they don't expect me to help them, to be there for them.
that's
There's
right,
like I cannot I there's nothing that I can offer that they need from me or want from me.
yeah,
And so
and it's like it's probably easy to see why, like, he's so angry and bullies because there's two modes to that. Actually, there's three things to that. One, like, as you're saying, like, it's like he's like, no one needs or wants anything from me. Like, literally the only thing that people want or need from him is money, and like that would really just be like piss you off really and make you sad.
and that's not even his money, it's his father's money.
Exactly, exactly. And then you know it's I almost wonder if his um bullying and that is, well, it has to be, doesn't it? It has to be like a way of him, like, acting out. Is he trying to get his father's attention? Is he trying to, like, because it's almost like he has no expectations of me. Like, I might as well at least do something, and then maybe I'll at least get his attention. Like, it doesn't matter anyway. Like, it's like he expects nothing of me. I don't know. I don't know where I'm thinking, where my thought process is with there. But like, I was so sad when he said that.
He tells Salam about the deal with the bike,
Mm,
and now Salam has this information. And then we get this scene where that guy that they talked with in that bar
Mark.
proposes, Mark, offers Salam to go to his room.
Mm,
And Salam is quite chill about it. Like he's uncomfortable. He doesn't want to go. He says no multiple times, but he's quite chill somehow. And I notice we see him looking at the money several times, and it's there for a reason because it makes it look like it's a tempting idea actually for him.
mm. Although
And then
I think when when he actually offers him the money, I feel like he's more uncomfortable. Um, I get what you're saying too. Like, it's definitely, it's a tempting transaction, but at the same time, it's like it's not something that's been offered to him before, I think.
Well, and then Kang jumps in, and his behavior does not fit the situation at all. Like he jumps in aggressively, and he really, really escalates the situation instead of de-escalating it. And then they get they get into this fight,
It's so funny
and then they
because
have to run.
you and I have completely different opinions on this scene. Yeah, yeah, he went like full hard, full, like, I think the thing is, yeah, I don't know. See, I saw it differently. I thought Salom Salom looked uncomfortable. I thought he was like relaxed in the beginning. I agree with you. He was like fairly chill, and then I thought when the guy was being pushy about it, and thing, I thought he seemed more and more uncomfortable. I don't think he was at the stage where like he needed Kang to like rescue him or anything.
I
And I
I
think
agree he was uncomfortable, but I agree with you that he was uncomfortable. I'm not saying that he wasn't. I
no,
agree.
but yeah, I don't see him being tempted by that. Like, I didn't see that, but that's just that's, it's good that we have different points of view. It would be boring if we agreed on everything. Uh, but when you're saying about like he went he like escalated the situation, I don't disagree because clearly that's what happens. But it's like I feel like in Kang's mind, if he perceived the situation in any at all the way that I did, then he would see that as coming to his rescue. But also, I feel like that would have just pissed him off because, like, whether he realizes it not or already, that like Salom is not on offer for anyone else, or he does not want him to be on offer for anyone else. So
Hmm.
it's a jealousy thing as well as a savior thing, I feel like.
Yeah, that's why I think he acts like
Overreacting.
this. Like, yeah, like he does not fit the situation at all. Like there's a completely different vibe at the beginning, and then he jumps in and is like, ah, and yeah, and then the
Yeah.
fight occurs, and
The
then
over the top part was the irrational jealousy.
they have to run, and they fake kiss in order to hide from the guys that are following them,
Yeah, the
and
second
then we get
kiss. The second kiss.
uh, I'm not counting this as a kiss,
No,
and then
so
Cam
I
is
feel like
like,
we have to do a kiss count, even though they're like the lamest kisses ever. I'm hoping for an epic first kiss, and neither of these were it.
yeah, and then Kang's like, was I good at kissing?
Yeah.
Flirting in this situation, really,
Yeah.
really.
He's like literally taking every opportunity. But yeah, I mean, he's literally just kissing his own thumb at this point.
And then they go to Kang's home.
Mm.
Why? But I don't know why, but
Yeah,
they
I know.
do.
I was like, because it's so funny because Kang's like, "Oh, wait here, I'll give you a ride home," sort of thing, and he's like, "Oh no, it's fine," and it's like, why did you follow him home if you weren't going there for a ride? Like, what are you doing even? Like, who is now infatuated with who sort of thing?
The friends are there to congratulate Kang with his birthday.
Wait, before we get to that though, we need to talk about the fact that they come home, it's dark. They think like maybe the guys who are chasing them have followed them. Well, actually, only I think only Kang thinks that. And Slom's like, "Don't be stupid."
Oh yeah,
But when they get startled, like when they get startled and they like end up holding on to each other. In actual fact, Kang grabs a hold of Salom and is like holding on to him, like he's startled. But and it's just the
that
friends.
was cute.
Yeah, it's just the friends there with birthday gifts.
Showing off their money
Yeah,
presents.
yeah, basically that's it. I mean, the birthday gifts shows that his friends only really know him in the most superficial way. Like they don't know any deep stuff. Like it's like
Giving
he's
him the camera, and while when he doesn't really
yeah. So
not he's not really interested in that, and he even says that.
yeah, like the gifts from his two friend, like his two male friends, are definitely about outdoing each other. They're flexing their money and their connections. Only the girl has a gift that's considerate, and that's
Yeah,
really
fuck.
just because she made it herself. But it's funny because it seems like none of the stuff that he's sharing with Salom he's shared with his friends. Like he's told them the most superficial version of it. So like they know that about the deal with the father to get the motorbike, but I'm sure it's in a, oh, if I do well, I'll get a bike, like kind of conversation, not a, I did this because I want him to expect something of me conversation. Like, I feel like that's not a conversation he's having with his friends.
And then the dad appears. And
Oh,
he basically does the same thing. It's just the same. It's the same. Showing out the money and doing it, giving a superficial present that shows that, in a way, it's doing it superficially. That show in a way that shows that he doesn't really know Kang.
but not only that, like, well, to go back to the conversation we were having earlier about how it seems like he comes off in the beginning as like kind of aggro and like violent. In the beginning of this scene as well, he's like, "Come with me outside." It's like, okay, like it's like I feel like this character, the actor has no idea what this character is doing. Like, I'm just like,
No, but
I'm
they also add this music that makes the
like
situation tense.
yeah, like foreboding music. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not only the actor. This is done consciously. Like,
yeah.
and I wonder why.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we'll maybe we'll get some explanation later on, but yeah. So basically, his father has given him the bike that he tried to bargain good grades for, and that broke my heart. Like for real, like, and the way that only Salom understood exactly how he would feel about that, and what it meant. Um,
And Salam looked like he really empathized with Kang in that moment, and his heart also got broken for Kang.
yeah, and I feel like now, in a sense, their roles have reversed, and Salom's now gotten a glimpse behind the shields that Kang normally has put up. and he's understanding him better, you know. It's sort of, it doesn't necessarily put them on an even level, but it kind of does at the same time, because it's like now they've both seen sort of ugly sides of each other's reality that they don't really show to anybody else.
And then we see Kang by the pool. I saw the behind the scenes, and apparently this scene was not. They did not intend initially to film the scene by the pool, but they, while filming it, I guess they realized they wanted it to be more dramatic, and then decided to do it by the pool because pools make everything more dramatic.
Yeah, and probably also it was hot, and then they were like, "Let's get in the water."
Oh yeah. And Salam brings his own cake that he found in Kang's house and plays guitar, and Kang is genuinely grateful.
Oh yeah, like he totally makes him smile. It's really cute, and just like the way Kang looks at him while he's like holding the cake for him and stuff, and then the way Salum looks at him when he's like making his wish. I was like,
Oh,
wow, okay,
I thought, yeah, Salam looks at him with love, like he has
yeah,
puppy eyes and it's so symbolic that he stops him from blowing the candle and asks him to make a wish.
mm.
It's like asking him to have a goal, basically.
Yeah. Well,
And I wonder,
he's asking
and
him
I
to have
want,
expectations for himself.
and I wonder if we later find out what his birthday wishes, because Salam asks and Kang doesn't respond. Maybe he wishes for a reason to leave, and funnily enough,
Mm.
Salam became it.
Yeah, and then like the whole bit. So like there's the Ken gets angry again because Salom brings up the bike and his father, and he gets angry and he's gonna throw the keys, and they wrestle and end up in the pool, like I suggested earlier. And then we have like that moment, and like when they embrace, and Shinon's song starts.
First, Salam grabs Kang by his neck, and in that moment, Kang looks quite aggressive. Like he's screaming. He's
Yeah,
like you wouldn't want to come close to a person like this, but Salam grabs him by the neck and
mm,
calms him down.
yeah. He's not. He's not. As I said, once again, it's this idea of their personal space. He's not afraid to be that close to him. Like I feel like he already knows that the last thing now, this version that he knows of Kang now, the last thing he wants to do is to hurt him and to physically hurt him. I mean, we never really actually had a moment where Kang physically hurt Salom. Like we didn't get that.
Yeah, we had Salam hitting Kang, but
Yeah,
not
that's
vice
right.
versa. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and them holding each other like that, I was just like, oh, it's just like it's such a little thing, but it was also kind of everything as well.
And it's the first time Salam actually offers him a reason to try. He offers himself and his expectations to Kang
To give him a reason.
to keep him afloat. Yeah,
Mm, mm.
yeah. And then we had that scene after the credits
The little
when
memory scene.
yes, and we get the story of Kang and his mother dropping off Salam during a rain, and Kang giving his umbrella with a windmill on it.
Yeah. Or
And
a
so,
pinwheel, a pinwheel. Well, I mean, a pinwheel is like a kid's version of a windmill, essentially. And this scene is from when they were kids, so I think they did it purposely in that way. But also, yeah, I think as you said, I think it's because it's like windmill, looks like windmill, but I also think it's because it's like the kids version of it. But yeah, it gives us this further confirmation that he's made the right choice to trust Kang, because he's like always been kind at heart. Like we see this glimpse of him as a kid, and he was this kind and considerate kid, and he just buried it under disappointment and anger, basically.
and this is how the episode ends, with Salom smiling and basically accepting Kang,
Yeah,
accepting his kindness, recognizing that it was always there, I guess. Yeah,
yeah,
buried under all those ugly things.
yeah. Well, that was fun.
At least for us, it was.
If you made it to the end, I'm not sure if we should apologize or congratulate you.
But thanks again for spending your time with us.
We are hoping to post on a regular schedule, but it's all really new right now, so please check out our Twitter, Critically OBS, for all future posting schedules.
Bye for now. I'm Mirella.
And I'm Zoe, and we'll see you next time.